Hello everybody, welcome back to the UPA. Today I have a replay showcasing off a battle that I had on week 5 versus YouTuber Drew Littlebigness. I am going to show this battle and go play by play of what happens and jump right into it. So before I play, before I play this, I'm going to go ahead and go over my team. I remember it. I had a Politoed, Chatot, Sigilif, Metagross, Salamence, and I believe the last Pokemon was Superior. So I had all of them, and I was going to bring them in this battle and try and end Littlebigness's undefeated season because he has an undefeated record right now, and I was going to try to put an end to it, but I made very, very, very critical errors, and there was a turn that changed the tide of the battle, and I couldn't really do anything about it. So I'll just go ahead and tell which turns I screwed up bad. So without further ado, we're going to hop into this battle and show what happened against the YouTuber Drew. I will leave his channel in the description below, and here we go. Oh, wait a second. We want this to go really slow. So, let's switch the sides while we're at it. So, I lead with Salamence, and he leads with his Heliolisk. Now, I wanted to lead with Salamence because I predicted he was going to predict the Chatot lead, because the Chatot lead has been very, very strong. It got a 6-0 sweep, and it won against Eric, too, which is the clumsy monkey. So he's going to withdraw the Heliolisk, and he's going to go into his Milotic. Now, I predicted this, so I went for Draco Meteor, but Milotic is one tanky thing, and if you don't come prepared for it, it's just going to eat you alive. So now I decide to go, what do I do now? I know I'm not going to be able to one-hit KO this thing for sure, but I'm predicting he's going to switch. So I keep Salamence in, and then he goes into his Ferrothorn. Now, I wouldn't say I predicted the switch. I was hoping he would switch so I could get to go him into his Altaria, because his Altaria is a Mega, and getting Altaria out of the way would have been handy. So luckily I am Expert Belt, and I'm going to Flamethrower his Ferrothorn. Now, this battle is going very, very well. At this point, it doesn't matter if Salamence goes down. I just wanted to use it to soften up his team and force some switches. So he's going to withdraw his Ferrothorn, and he's going to go back into Milotic. Now, I think I'm going to go for another Draco Meteor, or I'm going to switch out. I switch out. So I was thinking, I need something to send in on. Now, this is where the battle really would have been a landslide if one thing didn't happen. So he's going to switch out his Milotic, because no one in their right mind would keep Milotic in on a grass type. So he's going to switch that out. And I'm going to go for the Leaf Storm. He's going to go into his Altaria. And I'm like, oh, this is so perfect. Now I can Leaf Storm it up. And now I can Hidden Power Ice, because I did bring Hidden Power Ice on this Najarala. So I was thinking, yes, right into my trap. I was going to Hidden Power Ice this Mega Altaria. I was actually paralyzed at first, so I could actually make it slower if I really wanted to bring in something and set it up, because I had another gimmicky strategy too. But unfortunately, the paralyzation, this is where I wanted to pause the video right here. The paralyzation really messed me up this battle, because now I'm slower than everything else on the team, and I don't know why he packed Cotton Guard. I knew he was going to bring Cotton Guard, so that's why I just had it there. But he's going to switch that out, and then he's going to go into his Heliolisk. If Najarala wasn't paralyzed, the Heliolisk would have went down this turn, and then I could have... Oh, dang, I still outspeed him. But I could have swept from there if I wasn't paralyzed. So unfortunately, Najarala gets paralyzed. That's a big, big loss, because Najarala was actually going to come alive this battle. So I'm thinking, okay, I gotta get something going, like, right now. So I go into Waffles, who is another one of my win conditions in this case. He's actually going to draw out a super effective hit, but part of me feels like he called it, which is why he didn't go for any dark pulses or he didn't go for anything big. So I was like, dang it, he didn't go for a super effective hit. But at least I can tank it out, maybe get rid of something. So he sends in his Ferrothorn. I'm going to Rock Polish and make myself faster, as I was predicting a super effective Dark Pulse coming from that thing. But unfortunately, he switches out. I'm going to Meteor Mash because at this point I can kill him with the Ice Punch after his health goes down. I think he's either Leech Seeds me this turn. No, he's going to Stealth Rocks. But luckily, I have Defog on Salamence, so that's not going to be a problem. I'm going to Ice Punch. It's going to take out the George Bush. I do not think the crit mattered. Honestly, it's Ice and Steel. And Metagross is very high attack. So Metagross gains a kill this battle. And I believe this is where the battle started going really bad. So I'm like, okay, I need to get rid of these rocks ASAP. If I don't, it's going to get really bad. So I send in Salamence. At this point, he's sacrificable. But then I realized, crap, I totally forgot about the competitive. But that really didn't affect me at this point, because I could send in Politoed and literally wall it out. Because I have Water Absorb Politoed. So I'm going to defog away these rocks. And now I'm going to... Oh, and I forgot, like, the competitive boosted up again. So for some unknown reason, he went for Scald. I honestly would have went for Ice Beam, because now I can go for a Draco Meteor and take 50% of that thing's health away. Now, here's where I messed up right here. Run right here. I should have went into Politoed. If I would have went into Politoed, I could have walled out that thing's Scald, because I was predicting it coming again. And then I could have set up Belly Drum, because I was running Physical Politoed, and that was going to be the thing that swept with it too. So unfortunately, I kept Draco Meteoring. I don't know why, but I just did. And Salamence would have been able to come in clutch late battle, and I just sacrificed him off. I didn't realize that he was going to be important later into the battle until it was like the last turn. So unfortunately, Salamence is going to go down. I'm going to send in Politoed. And then I'm going to try and kill this. Now, this is another thing that really messed me up right here. I was going to Belly Drum up. I knew he was going to either Calm Mind or Scald or Recover. But he threw out Toxic. I'm like, okay, I'm a physical attacker, so that really doesn't affect me. So I go for Belly Drum, because that is going to cut my health down to 50, and then I have Citrus Berry. Now, I had this because it was going to run over his team if that Milotic wasn't still there and the Ferrothorn wasn't still there. Because I predicted those two coming. So he was going to do that. I get a critical hit on the Brick Break. It's not enough to knock it out, because it is Fizz Death at this point. So he Dragon Tails me out, and I'm going to have to conserve Politoed for later. Now, Chatot comes in, and Chatot is going to pick up the kill right here, because there's no way Milotic is surviving the Boom Burst at that health. Honestly, I should have Chattered or something, or Nasty Plot or something like that. Because if I would have glared the Helios, that would have been a sweep as well, because I could have just chattered the crap out of the, what's his name? Tyrantrum. Now here's where I screwed up big time. I knew it had Fake Out, but I didn't switch out. If I would have switched out, I could have brought the game back with Chatot. So I switch out on this next turn, and then I go into the Politoed. If I would have predicted the Fake Out there, I could have came back in with Chatot after, and I really shouldn't have sent in Sigilyph, because Sigilyph would have been useful if his freaking Ludicolo went down. So at this point, the battle is going hectic. I don't know what to do. I was trying to get something going. Sigilyph was my win condition. I honestly should have waited and sent in Politoed, because at this point there was no way he was going down. So unfortunately, I screwed up big time at the end, and I'm gonna have to sacrifice off the Polytoad. And now I send in Chatot. I really should have sent in Sigilif after I sacrificed off the Polytoad. Because watch what Chatot does right after this. Chatot goes for Chatter. That takes away 62% of his health. Now, he's not going to hit himself in confusion this turn. But here's where I really messed up bad, because I could have Nasty Plot that turn if I still had my Sash. Oh, man. Yeah, you can tell I really messed this battle up pretty bad. And I knew Chatot was going to do something this battle on one specific turn. And it took me so long to realize that, oh my god, that was the turn it was going to turn the tide around, and I screwed it up. So I let him fake out my Chatot, and then I sent in Sigilif too early, and then I had the uncontrollable body slam. I can't control that, so I'm not really gonna complain about that. That's part of the game. I mean, come on, I use things like Chatot. I can't be complaining about hacks if I get hacked out, especially after weeks 2. So, my thoughts on this battle. Do not screw up bad, or this will happen. You need to think every single turn before you act, especially when intense things like this. Because I still could have brought that battle back. I could have sacked off Polytoad, and then I could have went into Chatot, chattered him, Nasty Plot, and survive, and then he's probably going to go into his Heliolisk. Now, this is where I would have glared Heliolisk if Superior was on that turn. If Heliolisk was glared, and I wasn't paralyzed, Heliolisk would be slower, and he'd have... How much health did he have? Like 30%? Yeah, he had 38.5% health left. If I would have gotten that glare off, Heliolisk would have gone down to the Boom Burst and how slow he is. Then he would have sent out Tyrantrum. Tyrantrum would survive the Boom Burst, but we don't know if he would have survived the Chatter and then the Boom Burst. Because Boom Burst and Chatter, it's going to do a lot of damage. You're going to get hit in confusion so many times. You don't know what the odds of the battle may be. So Chatot could have easily brought the battle back right there. And Sigilif could have easily handled his Mega Altaria, and then he could have easily handled his Heliolisk too if it would have been paralyzed. So I got crippled so hard whenever that my Najarala got paralyzed. And I should have noticed that. Like, oh crap. If Najarala gets paralyzed, I'm game. So unfortunately, I can't keep the thing going. And I am now 2-3 in the league. If I do not win my last battles coming up this season, I don't make playoffs. I need to get 5-3 with high differential to make playoffs at this point. Because Caleb, which is Swaggy Pichu, Strawberry, the guy who I beat in week 2, and I think it was... Who else is fighting for that number 4 position? I want to say Eric's fighting for that number 4 position, because at this point, I don't think there's no way I'm getting 3, 2, or 1 seed. So I need to fight my way into the number 4 position, and then I need to make the playoffs and try and fix this mistake. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys that after this week, I am going to battle so well on a different level you won't even know. Like, do you remember the most frustrating game ever battle with Rising Tide? I'm going to battle like that. Oh man, I'm getting so hyped for week 6, 7, 8, and 9, the remaining battles of the season. I'm going to try and will win all 4 of them. And when I do, if I have high differential at the end, I can get going. Chatot is still looking to be the MVP of this team. It has 9 kills. It would have had 10 if I predicted the fake out. But unfortunately, I played bad with Chatot, and because of that, I had to pay. Yeah, that just goes to show that if you misplay on one turn, you're going to, like, screw up. So hopefully you guys can forgive my awful mistakes, and hopefully I will win my last 4 battles, and then I will make playoffs for you guys. I hope you all enjoyed week 5, even though I screwed it up bad, and I hope you all have a nice day.